YouTube. So our boys got going on today. We're going to be reacting to this video from Cam Newton's podcast, Funky Friday, where him and Chrisean Rock are having a conversation about who she truly is and the situations that she's been going through as she's developing in the limelight and as she's going through all these different character developments and unpacking her traumas and growing from them. In this clip, which we are going to unpack here, Cam Newton is discussing the root and explaining that concept to Chrisean Rock. And just a little context before we jump right into it. Before, they were talking about using sex as collateral. So they were discussing her relationship with Blueface, where he was out sleeping with different women while they were quote unquote together. And she felt that because he was doing that she should also do the same, or she should have, that same right or that same pass. And this led to Cam Newton discussing his point that the only person that is truly hurting is herself. And the reason why he believed that was because he believes that in a relationship, there's deeper problems than just that surface level of them going out and sleeping with these people, or her going out and feeling like because he's doing this, then I need to get even. And he is introducing the deeper issues that cause relationships and people to do those things. So let's discuss and let's see what he has to say on it.
Oh, what you gotta be honest?
No, I'm talking about in a relationship.
Oh.
If I'm in a relationship with you, I have to be honest. And I want you to know this, it takes time.
To get me where you want me to be at.
So
how long?
That's why I've been asking you, how long are you willing to allow that person to, please.
All right, let me get comfortable.
Please get comfortable, but damn, you fucking up my damn leather.
Mr. Cam.
Yes, ma'am.
These questions, I'm trying to help myself understand.
How long are you willing to wait to allow a person to become the best version of them for you?
So I have to strictly not do anything and just be fucked up for however till you get ready?
No. See.
No, because that shit will fuck a nigga up. Fuck a bitch up.
But what I'm trying to get
why is it not fair with a woman? You know what I'm
saying?
It's that double standard stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
No, what I'm saying to you is, if we're able to talk about this, that's the first step to a healthy relationship. Not reacting to, oh, nigga, I did this because you did that. No.
No, not even that.
Okay.
It's more if you're doing that, you're putting that energy out there like that. So I'm just supposed to stand here like a nun?
No, I'm asking you to get to the root of the issue. I'm not sitting up here saying stay because he keep cheating on you and he keep doing this.
Okay, so what's the root of the issue?
What I'm saying is, are you willing with me?
Yeah.
In my relationship?
No, fuck that. I'm talking about that root of the issue.
I'm saying when I first started talking to Jazz.
Okay, we don't gotta get specific.
No,
let's get specific.
Let's get specific.
Cool.
I had 7 children.
Right.
Right? So her knowing that from the jump, she knew what she was getting herself into. And I told her, I was like, listen, if we're gonna be serious, number one, my baggage is not baggage, it's my blessings. You gotta, this is all of me.
All right. And we're going to finish watching this snippet where it says Cam's most important rules in a relationship. But I want to briefly touch on some of the things that he introduced to this conversation and things that are really important and why certain things trigger us, why certain relationships don't work out, and why in the past I've had my own successes and failures in relationships where I wasn't able to get to the actual root of the issues, right? And he was posing the question to Chrisean Rock and asking her what was the root of their issue where she felt like because he was out here doing all these different things that she had to go out and do the same and not just leave, right? And so in the beginning of the interview, what you guys didn't see was these first couple of sections, Cam Newton was asking Chrisean Rock the 5 W's. He was asking her who she really is, what she stands for, you know, why she does this, why she does that, and developing and allowing the audience to develop a better sense of her character and her morals and what she stands for, and also her experiences. So in this beginning, Cam Newton pulls this information out of her, and we understand that in Chrisean Rock's early childhood, she had a lot of experiences where her mother and her father's relationship had some strain. And because her father was abusing her mother, that caused trauma for her. I don't know the full scope of the situation, but from my understanding and from the information that was given in this interview, it seems from the outside, it seems like her mothers had stayed in that relationship, and because they were married, that, you know, she stayed through that abuse, right? And she endured for the kids or for the marriage. And also another part that makes me believe that is because later in the interview, Chrisean Rock discusses that her father never cheated, right? Although her father was abusing her mother, he never cheated on her, and they were married and stayed married because of that fact. And so growing up in that environment, seeing abuse and seeing all those things can really scar a child and also affects their future relationship. So now, as you can see, that toxicity becomes normal, right? And when you enter into new relationships, you bring along that baggage. As Cam Newton is saying, he brought in his 7 kids into his new relationship. So his new wifey, his new girl, had to accept that and had to accept him fully. But in their relationship with Chrisean Rock and Blueface, it seems like they both weren't fully accepting themselves and fully accepting each other's baggage and having a conversation and getting to the actual root of those issues, that childhood trauma, those feelings of abandonment, that you know, getting used to, or that tolerance for toxicity and being able to stand in that place for so long and have that feel normal and have that be what love is, right? Instead of just leaving. So Cam Newton is diving into that, and in this clip, Chrisean Rock is having a little bit of trouble understanding what he is asking. I think there's just a miscommunication between what she believes he is saying and what he is actually saying. And she is saying that she believes that she should have that fairness. There should be fairness in the relationship where she should be allowed to go out and do what she wants because he is doing that. But what Cam is saying is that, no, you guys need to have patience and communication and get to the actual root of the issue to fix that, and then have patience and with each other, because we know that we have this baggage. We know that we have this childhood trauma. We know that we have these experiences that cause us to act this way. So we have to understand, get to the root, accept that root, communicate, and be patient with each other to go down that road together and to have a successful and a healthy relationship. But it looks like they weren't able to get to that root, and they were just living in that toxicity and living from those experiences where, you know, you go back to where her mom was getting beat. And I don't know about Blueface and his childhood experiences, but I'm going to assume from being a Crip and being around all that violence and all those situations where, and we don't truly know, right? This is just my perception of the information that is being given to me through this interview. We really don't know what their relationship was like behind closed doors. But from what they've shown, this is what we can base our view off of, right? So let's see what Cam finish this topic off with, discussing, you know, the important rules and how he's brought his baggage and how your partner has to accept and understand that and be patient with you.
So basically, it's your program.
You have to understand what's important to me. My family is everything.
Right.
So that's number one. Number two, I'm not perfect, right? And I have Like, you're talking to a man, as I was getting to, like,
No, you and Blueface got a lot in common.
no. We probably do, but I'm telling you this. When we first started.
Like the way he be explaining himself, he sound like that.
Okay.
Like, he be like that. And I really don't get it. Like, I feel
I'm trying to allow you
I'm
to
trying to too,
but you
it's
keep
like,
cutting me off.
all right, let me not cut you off and just listen. I'm gonna tell you how
Thank
I feel.
you.
All right, cool.
All right. So when we first started talking,
Right?
I was telling her what's important to me, right? It was 2 years before she ever met my children, right? And it was hard for her when I didn't know that she felt alienated because of that, right?
What? Not me and your kids?
Not me and my kids, right?
Because that's precious. Why would I do?
Which is cool, but you got to understand she's a empath in regards to, like, baby, I want to see
All
that.
of you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, allow me to shine like that, right? So check. So even then, throughout that process, I told her from day one, I was like, yo, like, I think I have a sex addiction, right? Like, I just.
Okay, at least you honest. Okay.
Yeah, like,
See, the more you talk, the more I'm learning about something else. Go ahead.
No, it's.
So as you can see, now Cam Newton was able to get to the root of what was driving him to go out and have these different sexual experiences. Obviously, not obviously, but as an NFL player with money and clout and access, he has the ability to do that, and he has the access, right? Like we all do, but at a higher level. So when you have this access, you can oftentimes abuse it, right? It's like when you have a lot of food in the fridge and when you have Tropicana fruit punch, why does it go so fast? Because it's there and it tastes good, right? You want to drink it fast before someone else gets it. And so same thing with him. He has all this access to all these different women, and they are more, for whatever reason, we're not going to get into that side of things, but let's stick to the root, right? So he has access, and that access allowed him or gave him the ability to develop this sex addiction, right? And throughout his time in the league, throughout his time, being at the top of his game and being able to do all these different things, now he has to, later in his life, he has to deal with those things, and now it was affecting his relationship. And the reason why he's now able to have this successful relationship is because his partner accepted him, and he was able to communicate those things with her, right? He was able to get to the root, and he was able to say, he was able to have the awareness and admit, okay, look, I have a sex addiction. Due to my past, due to my status, due to my career path, due to being an NFL quarterback, whatever, this, that, and the third. You don't have to be an NFL quarterback to have a sex addiction, right? A regular person can have a sex addiction. But now that he's at the root, right, and now that he understands where this desire and where this drive is coming from, now he can look at himself for who he truly is, and his partner can look at him for who he truly is also, and then that is where they can come to an understanding and start to develop a better and a healthier relationship, right? And so what he's trying to communicate to Chrisean Rock is, what is that thing that is driving you to stay, even though you know this partner is messing around with all these different women, even though, this is not a healthy situation, even though you guys are toxic, even though you guys don't have a great relationship, from what the public eye sees, what is causing you to stay? What is causing you to not leave and not have that trust in yourself that you can find better, not have that confidence in yourself that you can go out and also have that worth and that belief in yourself that you deserve better, right? And you deserve someone who treats you right. You deserve someone who isn't toxic or beats you or pimps you out or this, that, and the third. So that is the main point that he is trying to get at right here. And why this video and why I wanted to react to this clip specifically is because I want you guys to look at the roots in your life. And I want you guys to see what is the cause of the things that you are doing, whether that be in a relationship, whether that be in a job, whether that be with purpose. I want you guys to really look within yourself. And let's stick to the relationship part, right, while we're reacting to a video that's about relationships and staying in those situations that are not necessarily beneficial towards us or beneficial to us. So let's say you are in a relationship right now with a woman who you guys are doing a similar situation to where you guys don't really want to be together because of whatever reasons, right? And you are out doing you, but you want her to not do her, right? You want her to stay loyal. You don't want her to talk to no dudes. You don't want her to do this, do that, and this, that, and the third. But, because that is not whatever you have, whatever idea you have in your head of relationships or what a woman should be, right? That is forming your perception of that situation. But what I'm saying is, all right, instead of her or you communicating as to why you guys are not together or coming to an understanding of, I'm gonna continue doing this, and if you're not comfortable with this, then we may have to separate ways, right? And have it be a common understanding that this is what's going on, but instead we distract ourselves from the root and we continue to have these toxic relationships. We continue to have these toxic situationships. We continue to, not have understanding and not get to the root of the issue. But if you guys were able to get to that root, and let's say you feel like you have trust issues, right? And you don't want to be in a relationship with her because you don't truly trust her and you don't truly trust yourself. And so you could instead communicate with that to her if you feel like this is the right person for you and what's holding you back is that root issue, right? You communicate that and then see if you can come to an understanding. And if that person cannot accept you and accept you wholly and accept you for who you are with those issues as you are recovering and as you are becoming the person who trusts themselves and is able to trust others and able to, take that bet on her that she won't go out and do this, that, and the third, then that's somebody that you would, that you should consider being with because they are able to work with you, right? But what you also need to realize is if that person is not able to be patient with you as you are learning how to trust yourself and learning how to trust others, then you have to realize that you have to pull away from those situations. And this is not just about relationships between men and women. This can also be between friends, between coworkers, between parents and children. Like, there's a level of patience that we all have to have as we are all learning how to become the best versions of ourselves and learning ourselves and learning who we need to become to get on our purpose. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments. Drop down your root if you feel comfortable sharing that with the YouTube comment section and see what's been holding you back from having that successful relationship, from getting to your purpose, to getting that job, to having that life that you always desired, to doing this and that. What is actually holding you back and where is that coming from? Just to reiterate one more time, I'm not going to over-explain, but I just want to reiterate in this example where these people's roots came from. Remember, Chrisean Rock was those childhood experiences where her mother and her father had this toxic relationship, and he didn't cheat, but he abused her, and they still stayed together, right? But eventually fell apart because of that abuse. And then Cam Newton, because of his access, and because of his status, and because of his clout, and because of who he is, and the amount of money, and the amount of fame, this, that, and the third, because he had access to all these different women and because he had that inner desire and that inner, I'll say desire again, to hunt and be a hunter and dominate this, that, and the third, he developed that sex addiction. And those are two roots, but as you can see, Cam has that awareness and Chrisean Rock is still developing that and learning herself and learning who she really is and learning what she truly deserves. So thank you guys again. Let's continue to run it up.